Yo, it's Kevin Trades. This is my weekly recap and outlook for DAX, the German index. So let's just get straight into it. As you can see, this is the weekly candle of a heavily bullish week. We opened at 24,610, 24,610 and closed at 25,338.6. If I go into the daily, you can see every single candle was bullish this week. Um, so yeah, bullish, 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 which is nice to see. First things first, gotta look at the news. First proper trading week of the year. We had a bunch of news. We had a PMI on Monday, Wednesday PMI again at 3 p.m., Thursday unemployment claims, and Friday a bunch of news. Consumer sentiment 3 p.m. and unemployment rates and non-farm employment change at 1:30 p.m. and Italian bank holiday on Tuesday. Don't really care about that, but yeah. So let's just break this down. Here were my draws and here were my levels from last week. My levels did not get tapped, so I will be deleting them. Let me just mark out Monday. There we go. Let's delete the levels. Draws got smashed. London session. Let's see what happened. Where are we? Here. Coming into London session, of course, we were bullish on all time frames. For our break structure is right here. For our fair value app, respected here. Bullish calendar close out. So we are bullish. If I go into hourly now, I will be marking like every 4 hour bullish failure because the last 4 have just been getting respected. Let's just do that and show you. There's only, you don't really care about them, but I will mark them all out. Okay, that one didn't get tapped, but this one, and this one. So literally the last 1, 2, 3, 4 fair value ups which got tapped and filled got respected, and this one as well. So like the last 5 that got tapped have been all respected, and you got a nice cheeky inverse here. But we don't care about that. That's last week. But yeah, coming into Monday London session, of course, heavily bullish, 1 hour bullish, and you'd go down to 15. Mark our liquidity, whatnot. You'd probably mark this out. Else probably low of the day or 3 p.m. 3 a.m. Sorry. Low of the week did just hold as uh open Sunday open, which is yeah nice. It just shows that we're heavily bullish. Another thing I want to mention is the reason we were so bullish is if you go into daily, I want to point this out, is we had a disgusting sweep. Where is it? Every single time we've had a disgusting sweep like this, we've moved like 700 points. In this case, 1.7k points. But here, 700 points, 1000 points, and then where was it? The disgusting sweep here. Oh, here. This sweep here was disgusting, and then you just have a 900 point move. So yeah, hence the bullish movement. Break restriction the daily, broke past all-time highs, and yeah. So yeah, London session on Monday, bullish on time frames, 15-minute liquidity marked out. Then you go into the 5. Therefore, break structure. Of course, we have a break structure right here. Boom. And then you mark out equilibrium or a fair value up. Of course, this value up here. For prior to open, we actually break structure here. I think that's 745 or 755, and then we just hit a fair value up, and then we just flew. And if you mark out equilibrium from this low to this swing high, it's pretty much perfect EQ with a perfect 3 minute failure up, and then the 1 minute had 1 minute inverses, which is nice. So yeah, you could have caught this trade if you just entered late 1-to-1. Of course, would have got hit the first draw. Of course, it would have run 2, and of course, this would have just run the entire week. Let's see how much that is, about 10, 11, which is good to see. But yeah, simple continuation model. We did start reversing at 9, which is fine. If I go into the 5, or should I say 15, or hourly, we just had an hourly bullish value up when 9 opened, came down, filled it in. If we mark out the order block from here, let's make it blue. You can see order block got tapped, and then of course it is just OTE from this low. Perfect OTE right here at 12 o'clock. Obviously, won't be trading at that time. And then yeah, that was pretty much London session. Beautiful continuation. New York, pretty much similar thing. We were just bullish. You can see price start to reverse off of OTE, big structure, and then yeah, at New York Open we had a perfect big structure here. You'd wait for 5-minute fair value gap, equilibrium tap, and that's exactly what we got. Perfectly. Obviously lower time frames, even if you enter on 5, even if you entered on 5-minute bullish close, you're still getting that 1-to-1 here. To be fair, this again would have run 2 to the next draw. Boom. 3 RR easily. And yeah, that's the first 2 draws literally hit on. First draw got hit on Monday, and the second one got hit on Tuesday, which is nice to see. But yeah, coming to Tuesday, this was a 4 bullish fairly up. Obviously, we left behind no fairly ups here. We left behind one here from Sunday. But this 4 fairly up we made at 3 a.m. was in fact just lower the day on Tuesday. We will mark this out as lower the day on Tuesday. You can see a perfect respection here, but we can break this down again. Of course, the 1 hour is bullish and the 4 was bullish. Let's just make sure 1 hour break structure here, so the 1 hour is bullish, and then you would mark out 15-minute liquidity, which is obviously these, which all got swept, this one and this one, which did not get swept. However, if you just look at the reactions on the 1 minute, because it is just reversal, you can see here breaker structure, here, or even here, you'd mark out here to be fair. Then you'd wait for a fairly up, no fair value up. This fairly up is an interesting one because, whoa, this fairly up here is interesting because this candle closed here, the next one opened here, so technically for me this is respected. And then yeah, it kind of ran a bit and then reversed off of this gap, or should I say this fairly up at 9. I know somebody cut a sell from there here because there was no bottom wick on this 1 hour candle, and then price just reverse creates that bottom wick. But yeah, continue with the bias. Of course, you'd probably just wait for 1 minute fair value up. Obviously this one wasn't that bad. You'd probably get an entry somewhere here, but this is just accumulation, and we come back down to sweep it. This 1 minute inverse, however, is very clean. Tapped it at 10 and tapped into the forward fairly up again at 9, and yeah, from here we just rip past to high of the day. So here's a good trade. And then I think what's this? This is just the 9 a.m. bottom wick. That's how it looks on the hourly, but yeah, that bottom wick got placed in, tapped into the 1 minute inverse. Cheeky little retracement, should I say? Because we are at below 50%. Golden pocket, even tapped into pretty much OTE region, and yeah, good long here. 70 points, more than enough. But yeah, coming to New York session, we ended up edging 25k, which was my draw. Of course, when we're edging it like that much, that just means we're gonna take it eventually. So of course you'd mark this out, good draw, and then we can just tap back into the forward fairly up once this 4 hour opens. The New York session does just open, leave behind this 5 minute, which just gets respected, then dumps, taps the forward fairly up. You have these nice wicks here at 10. Draw out OTE from here, and it is perfect OTE. We also have like a mini Wyckoff, if you want to call it a Wyckoff. I'll draw that out. Oversold swing, stop, test. Selling stops, automatic rally, test, whatever, and then purge. And then you can even consider this as an RTO, which is the final retap into the forward fairly up. And this inverse here gets respected. Beautiful 5 minute inverse, and then yeah, good trade to the draw, 75 points. But yeah, that was pretty much Tuesday. Both draws being hit at this point. Coming into Wednesday, heavily bullish. If I just go into 4 hour, you can see how that fairly upheld. Absolutely crazy. Came down here, filled it up again, closed up here. I think that's what this line was. Let's make it that color. But yeah, low of the day held at 11, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, literally we did not take that. That's how bullish we were. We fill in the gap and we went higher. Yeah, this fairly up here was nice, and we just rose up, took the draw, and accumulated. Coming into Wednesday, 1 hour of course bullish, forward bullish. We had this 1 hour bullish fair value up, which we were trading inside of Asia, and usually you'd see like a manipulation, which you can see here at 5, which is a nice sweep. Whenever we're trading inside of a bullish fairly up like this for a long time. After this sweep, of course, we're bullish on both time frames. You'd wait for 15-minute. Of course, you can mark this 15-minute out, but after seeing a sweep like that, price has already done its thing. So you'd mark out, or you'd wait for open. You can see this 15-minute bullish fairly up. Also an order block here, where this forward starts. This is a new forward, but it's fine. I'm gonna delete this for now. Why is my alarm going off? But yeah, so London session, you can see we also had a 1 hour bullish fairly up here. Boom, tapped into our 9. However, it was just another continuation. If you see, London opens, break structure immediately, 5-minute fair value gap respected, equilibrium tap. Of course, you want to enter anywhere below 50%. Obviously, we tapped this like 20 times. Eventually, though, we did come down, sweep AM low, which is nice to see at 9 o'clock open. Did we tap back into this? I'm pretty sure we did. So 9 AM tap back into that 1 hour bullish fairly up. And then yeah, we just pumped. But good continuation nonetheless. Obviously, you'd be patient in this kind of situation. Wait for a break structure out, or you'd wait for a full candle closure out of the fair value up, which is pretty much here or even up here. I would say here. But it was pretty much disgusting. Still getting a good trade out here, 1 to 2 at least on this continuation model. But yeah, I know this new forward was nice, I'm pretty sure. 11 AM, came down, low placed here at 12:30. All it was a 15-minute bullish rally up again, getting respected. This is also a nice low, getting swept on the 15. And then on the lower time frames, boom, big structure, boom, fair value up, and then this just holds. New York session, 2:30. Price starts to reverse, taps back into this 1 hour. Was it 1 hour? Is it 15? 1 hour fair value up. And then is it 4 hour? Nope. I will mark out this 4 hour though. There's so much on my chart. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, that was pretty much Wednesday. Pretty much continuations all around. New York session just usually tends to reverse whenever London and area expands. That's just New York reversal for you. You can see the high gets placed in, and then 3 p.m. usually just taps into a liquidity area, POI, and then reverses. This is a nice sweep. This is a nice value up. This is a nice inverse. And yeah, that's low, the 4 hour. And then you just pump up to this high. Yep, pretty much Wednesday done. Coming to Thursday now. We did tap back into that 4 hour. Is that 4 hour? Yes, it is. You can see here. Beautiful sweep as well on the 15. And that is low of the day, 6 a.m. After we have that sweep, we have a huge up move, which is nice to see. And then London opens. After a huge up move like that, obviously you'd be waiting for a 5-minute break structure. Of course, you have one, and then you have these fairly ups. But of course, these just don't hold. So you'd be patient. Price comes back down. We have this nice inverse here. And this is literally coming to New York, but not really a trade here, to be honest, on this retracement. But again, this is just OTE plus a 5-minute inverse. You can see perfect OTE. After that, low of the day already placed in. 5-minute fair value gap. This run again a lot. 5-minute fair value gap at 2:30 placed in. We didn't really, I want to see if we broke structure on the 5. We broke structure quite late. I think this is like 3 p.m. 3 p.m. broke structure and just held as low the hour, low as the 4 hour. But New York session was nice. You have this nice close here on the 5. And then we just retrace again, not to mention it is just perfect equilibrium on the fairly up. Let me drag this to the top. Wait, there we go. And then yeah, that's Thursday. Coming to Friday now. Again, 3 p.m. candle, create this forward fair value gap. I won't draw the whole thing out. Let me just draw out from here. London session, I'll just mark out 7. Then go in, mark out 8. 1 hour here is still bullish. We had like barely any break structures to the downside this week. 15-minute, of course, you had this liquidity marked out. Price sweeps it at open. Not really a good sweep. So what happens is price just comes back down, resweeps again 8:30, and for the last like 2 weeks, 8:30 has been given a reversal, which is nice, and that holds as low the day on Friday. You also could consider this as a Wyckoff. You have gaps here, nice TPs. Again, Wyckoff being oversold swing, automatic rally, test, and then a purge, and then even an RTO here at 8:52. So yeah, you could enter on the RTO closes and whatnot. You could also just enter after the resweep on the liquidity break structure here, and then this fair value gap here, you'd wait for it to get tapped into. You could have just entered purely straight away. With a good SL, you'd be in. SL here, of course, and the draw being these gaps, again, a good trade again. But yeah, pretty decent week for the London sessions. Yeah, I really like this because this is just RTO. So if you entered on the close, on just the 1 minute close, or let's just say you entered on the 3 minute close, which would have been here, and then tight SL or on the RTO, sure, why not? You're getting again 2-3 RR with like little to no retracement once we start pushing up, which is nice to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. New forward opens, we tap into. We're still trading inside the forward fairly up. I will mark out the top half because I did mark out the bottom half. And let's make them both blue, like so. And then yeah, on the 15 is clean. Not really much on the 15 to go off of. Pretty choppy here. Nice 15-minute inverse here. It just got inversed and ran through. I'll mark out this for the future though. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Smashed 25k. We're trading above now. We have this nice move up. And yeah, coming to New York session, of course, New York session once again reverses because Asia and London expand. So it's kind of what we expect when Asia and London both expand in the same direction. In this case, we just come down back into that 15-minute, tap back into forward at exactly 3 p.m. Low of the forward gets placed on this new forward candle 8 minutes in. And of course, it is just our OTE from this low, perfect OTE from this low here at 10. And yeah, continuation all around. Nice fairly ups in the 1 minute. Right here, good 1 minute structure, good 1 minute inverse here, beautiful reaction here. Make that yellow, why not? But yeah, that's a good trade. High of the day target, double highs. And then that finally gets hit right here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really nice week. Very bullish. I did say I wanted a retracement, but what can you do? We just had hella bullishness. The last 5 hour fairly ups just held. And yeah, you can now remove everything. So coming into next week, now that we broke structure on the weekly double break structure here, and on the monthly, I do want to mark out for draws. What am I thinking for draws? Am I bullish? Am I bearish? We are at all-time highs, so of course my bias is going to be slightly bullish, but it just depends like what happens, obviously, because at all-time highs we can't really go off of anything except for levels. So here I will put a level at 501, or sorry, 500, 25, 500, and instead of a TP, this is gonna be a level. If you push past that, I'll put a TP at 26. Okay, I should just drag it up. There we go. If you push past this, like not get any reaction, we can just push up to 26, which is fine. The 4 hour, I'm seeing a retracement. We gotta get some sort of retracement, so let's just put a draw somewhere around here. If I look at the daily, probably here. I want to tap at least Thursday's low, at least, because it's a fairly up, and a fairly up here, triple fairly up here on the daily. Not really too bothered if we retrace deeper. But yeah, if you do a trace deeper, I would want buys from around, I'll put two levels here at 25.50 as well, just in case. But around this zone, I want sells from. It's a bit more, boom, boom, boom. I want this low taken on Thursday, and then buys probably just off of this breaker structure or this breaker structure. Wait, this one is the most recent. Boom. I'm happy with that. So this week or the upcoming week, I'm looking for something like this. Ideally, this is ideally something like this. Obviously, market only care about what I think, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Obviously, we could also just get purely a run higher, and then we can reverse, or we could just reverse instantly and just come low and take Monday's low. I'll put a white line here because this is also lower the month. It's an interesting one, but yeah, I do want at least a retracement down to Thursdays though would be nice. Whether it's after or before, I don't really care. And then if we break past 2500, we can see movement to, if you break past here, we can see movement to 26. And then we can probably see a retracement. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my DAX recap. Keep it clear and simple. Here are my draws, here are my draws, the green lines, and my levels are the purple lines. Keep it clear and simple. See you next week.